right, going back to Dwayne in California. Dwayne, describe what the swine flu shot was like.
When I first started getting sick, I just got hot and feverish like you would with a flu, but then I I didn't have any numbness, but what I did develop was extreme weakness in my legs and my limbs. I couldn't stand. I had to have somebody drive me through the snow 20 miles into Boston to a hospital, where I ended up staying in the hospital, and I just couldn't get out of bed for 2 days at least. And when I did try, I had to go to the bathroom, ended up falling and wrapping myself around the toilet. I just couldn't stand.
Well, I've heard this story 1,000 times if I've heard it once, and everybody I know. In fact, there's like 5 people in the control room. Guys, they're not listening. Hey, guys, everybody in there, I want your opinion of this right now. How many of you know several people who say they took a flu vaccine and then got the flu from it? Yeah, Jaron saying, same thing with my mother, never gets the flu. She's got a triathlon coming up like a decade ago. They tell the people in the triathlon, you ought to take this on the triathlon team. She takes it, almost kills her.
Yeah.
And it's everybody I know who takes the flu shot this happens to. And Jaron was saying it seems like his dad takes the flu shot every year and gets it. I mean, folks, these are so bad. And they admit that if you've had 3 flu shots, you double your chances of Alzheimer's. Sir, I appreciate your call. In fact, people may not believe me on that. After we play this radio clip for myself on a station yesterday, because it's very educational, very informative, I'm going to, we'll pull up major federal and university studies. You just Google flu shots, Alzheimer's, and it's admitted. Now they want your kid to take 3, and then now they say 4, and then they admit, I have the Washington Post right here. Washington Post, swine flu vaccine will contain mercury. I remember 6-7 years ago they said, there is no mercury in vaccines. Then, oh, we've taken it out. And then, oh, it's only in some. And, oh, it's in there. And then we educated people that mercury was bad, and so they said, okay, the mercury's in there, but it's good for you. And I've played that newscast too many times. If you don't believe me, just Google, YouTube, mercury good for you newscast, and it'll be up for you. Because, and now they've got shows where they say lead is good for children, CNBC. I mean, you cannot make, and the public, a certain percentage believes it. They're going, oh my gosh, I bought liquid vitamins not paying attention, some supposed organic brand. It says, I always joked about vitamin M. Hey guys, do me a favor, people won't believe this. Remind me during the break to go back in the break room and get my liquid vitamins. Because one of the guys goes, hey, are those your liquid vitamins? It says vitamin M on it, mercury. And I was like, yeah, right, don't pull my leg. And I went in and got it. And so they're now saying mercury's a vitamin, a mineral. Oh, my God. I mean, it's total insanity. They are programming the public. Like when they say torture of children is good. It's how we get al-Qaeda to confess. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, we tortured his kids, and the neocons are on radio going, do whatever you have to. They could kill 1 million of us. That's psychologically meant to make you totally commit to evil in the name of good, and then you're gone. Your journey to the dark side is complete once you've killed the younglings or simulated in your mind that killing children is okay or torturing them. Now, I am a guest a few times on the Richard Hunter Show, 1360 AM in Dallas, and I really enjoy going on big neocon shows when Bush was at the height of his power, had just staged the attacks, the rogue network, as Tarpley says, had, his handlers, Bush really didn't. And I love going on and being screamed at and yelled and hissed, and you're a communist, you secretly were trained at al-Qaeda bases, you know, all of this. But now that a liberal's in, a fake liberal, it's I'm a right-wing racist. And then when a Republican fake gets in 3.5 years, I think Obama won't be there in 3.5 years unless he stages big terror attacks, and that probably won't work. Then I'll be a commie again. No, I'm a constitutionalist. So you got one letter in the name right. And I believe in small government because any big government, even though it starts out good, will be subverted and used for oppression. But I was on this show, and it was call after call. I think they took 3 calls like this, and they'd all say, I'm glad you've got him on. This guy's a racist. he's one of these sicko Republicans lying about Obama. And I was like, no, and I was mainly talking about his science czar writing this book, and Bush's science czar, or one of his science advisors, and Bush senior science advisor, writing similar things, co-authoring the book with him. They didn't care. No, the government's not scary. It's my daddy. It loves me. It kisses me before it puts me to sleep at night. You know, the government's strangling them financially right now and physically, and they're like, oh, mommy, you're hugging me. You know, it is just sick. And they want to be satisfied. They want to believe everything's okay. And you can confront these Democrats. I've gone downtown to get interviews with them, and I'm like, hey, Obama lied about the lobbyist. All he's hired is lobbyists. Well, he's got a lie to get in. Oh, Obama lied about troops in different countries. Oh, well, he has to. Oh, Obama helped push the bailout and said he was against it. Oh, well, he has to. They are now associating their identity, their personal power with Obama. And so here is her crazy phone call. We'll cut into where he goes to her in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 5+ million people out there potentially that could tune in, probably tens of thousands listening conservatively, literal Kool-Aid drinkers, caller after caller, not listening to a word I said, just I was criticizing Obama, saying he was a puppet run by the same people as Bush. I said Bush is bad, Obama's bad. They control both parties, and they said, you Republican racist, shut up. Here it is.
All right, Carmen, you're next up with Alex Jones, our guest from Infowars.com. Go ahead, Carmen.
Hi. I agree with the other guy, not just Alex, the other Alex, that he needs to be in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And he's just talking out of paranoia, and I really do hope that he goes the deep end so that maybe Obama can just have him committed. I have never seen so many people disrespect our president.
All right, let's
like
hit pause. Back it up to where I need to be committed. I mean, let's analyze this. The Soviet Union arrested millions of people and sent them to medical camps over 60-plus years. It's longer than that, but they kind of cut back in the 80s because of the revolt. People weren't putting up with it anymore, even their own police. I don't know, 1918, but they didn't really get rolling until about 1920 to the 1980s. Yeah, 60 years of really, according to Alexander Solzhenitsyn, I've read his Gulag Archipelago. And they would say you were mentally ill. They had all these mentally ill designations for those that thought the government was corrupt. Or if you thought party members lived in too nice a houses and were stealing the people's money, you were in trouble. And they would send you to a mental institution and drug you for 2 or 3 years in solitary confinement, and then bring you out in front of the judge and saying, see, he's mentally ill, with your shaved head, starving, on drugs, going. And they'd say, see, mentally ill. Now the United States does do this. Dr. Charles T. Sell out of Kansas City criticized Clinton. He's now 11 years in solitary confinement, drugged. And I've talked to his family. He's bald-headed, can't even talk, is in a wheelchair. And they say, look, he's mentally ill. No judge, no jury, never went to criminal trial, but he's in a criminal prison. And they've got all these new psychological designations. If you believe 9/11's an inside job, they have a psychological designation. If you believe in the Bilderberg Group, psychological designation. They have hundreds of new designations saying I'm mentally ill. And Chris Matthews is saying this. It's a talking point. And so it's crazy. If you read I had George Soros' publication yesterday say that Holdren didn't write the book, didn't say this. So there's also flat out lying going on. But they went on to say I was insane and delusional. And these articles say Jones, when he's not talking about flying saucers, talks about how they're poisoning the vaccines. I don't talk about flying saucers. See, it's all lies. But let's go back to her. I need to be committed. Here we go. The last guy said that. The last guy before that said it. Here we go.
I agree with the other guy, not just Alex, the other Alex, that he needs to be in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And he's just talking out of paranoia, and I really do hope that he goes the deep end so that maybe Obama can just have him committed. I have never seen so many people disrespect our president like they have him. And, I mean, they're just afraid. I want to know what...
It is our right to disrespect the president. The ultimate in patriotism is loving your country, fearing and resisting your government. But see, you're not really an American, are you, lady? You know nothing about America, nothing about liberty, nothing but freedom. You think this is communist China or Fidel's Cuba or Hitler's Germany. disrespecting our president. See, if you criticize him, they go, you're just disrespecting a black man. You can't handle a black man having power. He's a puppet. I'm trying to stop him killing black people, you stupid lady. God, you're so ignorant. It's scary. And she wants me locked up. She says, I hope Obama gets his health care so we can lock him up. That's actually what the health care does. And you have a card. Everything you buy, sell, and eat is on it so they can track you, LA Times, and tracker boxes in our cars, taxing us. I mean, lady, you want to be a slave? I mean, what is your problem? Go back to this idiot.